Hey everybody, welcome to Card Club. We are going to make some cards today using our Mocha Snuggle kit. So let's go ahead and get started. If you are watching here with me, say hello. This is a card kit that is absolutely one of my favorites. And I used it, I had it prepared before the holidays for you guys, but then the holidays came and I'm just now getting back to it. So let's look at all the pieces and parts to it. Of course, you are going to get your envelopes and your card bases. You are going to get some bling and some bows, so we'll just put those right there. Now, we may have more than 9 things in this card kit this morning because I think I put the extras in, but we're gonna count real quick. So that's 3, we might not. I might be totally wrong. 3, 6, oh, nope, I'm totally wrong. We've got just a regular card kit. So here are our die cuts. Look how cute those little bears are. Then we also have our sentiment stickers and our envelope seals. And we should have 9 pieces of double-sided paper. Now these are very texture oriented, meaning that they are all different kinds of browns, but that they have different textures on them. So I'm just gonna lay it out this way for a second so that you can see them. And you get 3 of each one. So that's what they look like. And then of course we have 1 extra of all of them as well. This one goes here, this one goes here, and this one goes here. So let's have some fun and make some cards. All right, and then this is our featured card for our card club. Now, you'll see, I made a couple of these ahead of time, and you'll see they're each a little bit different. So we're gonna take 3 pieces of paper and we're gonna cut the 2 different cuts. But here's the thing, if you want a space in between, you need to cut the square that you're gonna make here a little, trim a little bit off, or we can just push them all together and make cards that look like this. This is definitely the easier way than having this strip in between, okay? So let's go ahead and make our first 3 cards and see how we do. I'm gonna set those over there for now. So the first thing we're gonna do is put 3 pieces of paper together that are all a little bit different. Make sure they are snug together, no random little papers trying to get away from us. And then we're gonna put it 2 inches and we're gonna cut. Now, if you are not using a paper trimmer, just measure 2 inches with your ruler and then cut on the line. That will be fine. So that's the first cut. This is a really easy card to make. So 2 inches, that's gonna go across the bottom. The next one, you are gonna take and turn it, we cut this way first, you're gonna turn it back this way, and I believe it's another 2 inches because if I'm not mistaken, this is 4 inches. Maybe not. Let me see. Where am I looking at? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 4 inches. So you're going to do another 2-inch cut. I love it. Okay, so now we've just made a 2-inch cut, and that's all you're going to do. So 2 cuts, 2 inches, all of them, and then we're done. Easiest card ever, right? This really could be like one of those easy peasy cards, but it's so easy to make, and you can do this with any paper. Just make sure that your orientation is going in the right direction so that you can do that. All right, before I lay these down, this is almost like a fractured card technique, but not. I'm gonna lay these out so that I can mix and match them differently. So I'm just gonna literally turn these over and make a different card. And then you just want to make sure for this bottom piece that you are getting a section that doesn't match the top 2. And that's pretty much it. And I know I'm a little off screen over here, but that's just because it's easy to work that way. Let me put these up. Let's do this. We're going to use 1 of each of these. Let me grab just 1 of each. And we'll put the rest over there. Let's put these up here, and then I can slide these over where you can see them a little bit better. How's that? There we go. Okay, so let's go ahead and put our first card together. Now, you also can turn them this way if you want to. So now you can decide, I had not done this previously horizontally, but you absolutely could do it horizontally if you want to. The thing I want to point out about spreading this out is that when you do that, because the paper is cut, it's not going to line up perfectly unless you put them together. So if you try to spread it out a little bit, it's not going to line up perfectly for you. Okay, so you might want to just put it together like that and just call it a day, and that way it's all lined up for you. But you can do it like this, which is a really cool, fun card also, or you can do it like this. So we're just going to go ahead and get started and put it together, and then we can mix and match and turn and do anything we want to do. Really easy, really fun. It's not as visible because of the browns of how beautiful this card actually is, but it is a very pretty card. Now remember, our papers are designed so that you have a border, so make sure that you leave yourself a little border when you're putting your paper on, okay? And I'm gonna put all of these right where they should be. So I'm not gonna leave any space between the papers this time. Sometimes I do, but this time I'm not, again, because I want my papers to line up the way they're supposed to and not match up. Not match up. For some reason, I think my tape runner's cold. It's acting a little peculiar today. All right, so once you have that first piece down, getting the rest of these on and to line up is actually pretty easy. So we're just gonna set that one over there. Let's do all of these first, and then we'll come back and figure out which way we want the card to be, and we'll add our die cuts and our sentiment and our bow and our bling. All right, so we've got our 3 card bases done, and we didn't leave any space in between the papers. We can turn one like this if we want and keep 2 like this, or we can do them all like this. We can do 1. I think we'll do 2 like this, and then we'll do 1 like this today. I think that'll be pretty cool. All right, let me grab the sentiment stickers. I know I want to do a happy birthday one because I'll have February birthday cards to send out soon. Definitely want to do hello friend, and then probably just because. So we're going to do just because over here so that we can have the bear sitting on top. I'm thinking I want to trim this down a little bit though, so hold on one second because we're going to have to rearrange a minute. Let's do hello friend over here. And let me just trim this up a little bit. There we go. I'm just gonna put it on my corner rounder for a minute. All right, and then we're gonna use, oh, look, his little scarf and his little mug. Oh my gosh, he's so cute. All right, so we're just gonna put this right here. And I'm just gonna make sure that's pretty lined up, and then let's go ahead and, oh, look how cute that's gonna be. That is gonna be adorable. All right, I think what I'm gonna do is cut right along this line, and then I'm gonna come up here and I'm gonna cut, and I'm gonna cut possibly a little bit more into the thinking of you because I want to trim that one up a little bit too. So let me do that real quick. It's got a little bit of that extra white at the top that I'm like, we could do without that. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. So let's just cut that off of there. And then I'm gonna take this up for a second. This is the other one we're gonna use. But I want to be able to trim this up without it sticking everywhere. So let's put that back on there. And don't know if it's exactly straight, so I'm gonna try to make sure that it looks straight. Maybe I should do this side first, because I can see that one a little bit better, and I think that looks straight. So let's just cut that whole thing off, and then I can use that side against one of the lines to make sure that it is where I want it to be. It is going to look like it has a little bit more because of that J. That J just sticks out a little bit. All right, let me get a little piece of washi tape. Hold on. That's going to be the easiest way to make sure I don't mess that up. So what's the temperature where you guys are today? Is it really cold yet? It's like 32 here right now, so it is not nearly as bad as it is in other parts of the world, which I am very grateful for. Okay, I am just trying to put that down. Sometimes it takes a little adjusting. There we go. I think that's good. We'll see. We'll see if it's good. Yeah, that looks good. Okay. Whew, that was a little bit of a process, huh? Sorry about that. Okay, so we've got that one. We're going to do Just Because over here, and then we're going to do Thinking of You over here. All right, I changed my mind. We're gonna do this one like this too because it's a longer sentiment, and I just wanna make sure that it fits on the card properly. So we're gonna do Thinking of You with this bear, and then we'll do Just Because over here with this one. These are gonna be so cute. All right, let's get this backer off again. All right, so we're gonna take our die cut. We put some adhesive on the back of it, and I am going to just kind of nestle it on top and in the middle of our card. Look how cute he is. All right, let's do the same thing with this one. Oh my gosh, so, so cute. Look. I love this. This die cut is one of my favorites with the little bears hugging each other. I love this kit. I say that about all the kits, but I'm a big animal person, if you guys didn't already know. So yes, I love this one. All right, let me see. I'm gonna look real quick. I think instead of putting it like this, I might just put his paw up here like this, so that way it's a little bit more in the middle of the card. Oh my goodness. All right, let's put our envelope seals, and then this is the first card. This will be our card club card for today for our Mocha Snuggles kit, and I will get the PDF together and have available. So if you guys need it or want it, make sure you check the files in the groups. And if you are watching this on YouTube later, make sure you send me a message and I will get it to you. Okay, so those are our first three cards. I'm gonna do bling and bows at the very end. So let's just go ahead and put this over here like this. Now we're gonna do some fractured cards. Same process, but just a little bit different because they're different angles of cuts, right? So let's just make sure I have all of the paper, because we're gonna use all three papers again. And this one, I think we're just gonna do 2 cuts, so we'll have 3 pieces of each as well. So let me go ahead and just grab my paper trimmer. And these are going to be able to fit together very nicely also. I don't like to do the exact points because sometimes they are hard to get to adhere to the card. Sometimes they're tricky unless you're actually using glue and not adhesive. So we're not gonna do point to point necessarily, but I want these to be kind of fun. So I think this next cut we're gonna cut. Let me see, how do I want that to look? We're gonna cut it this way. Yeah, that'll be cute. Okay, so then the key is to put them where they belong. And then we're gonna take a few minutes and just mix and match them up again, right? So I'm gonna start with this one because it's part of the top. All right, so I'm gonna put that just like that. And then I'm gonna come in with this one and we're gonna mix and match so that they're not with the same design. And then we're gonna come in with this one and put it together. So that's what our fractured cards are gonna look like. So we're gonna slide these over real quick. Let's grab our first card base and put these together. I must have borrowed card bases out of here. Oh no, I didn't. Here they are. I was like, where are they? Sometimes I have to do that. Sometimes I have to borrow card bases. All right, so I'm gonna start left to right. That's just my preference, but you can do it however you want. And I'll tell you, the reason I'm starting this way is because this has a full side, which means I can line it up for my border and put it together pretty easily. Sometimes with a lot of cuts, you can't really do that, but today I was smart and didn't even think about it. So we're totally gonna do it that way. I am not gonna leave a space in between these either. I am going to nestle them up together. So I'm just gonna nestle them up together. That way they will stay pretty aligned and they won't look odd, because sometimes the papers, when you try to leave a space, don't like to be spaced and they can look a little odd because then the borders don't match or something's just a little wonky about it. So we're just gonna put those all together today. There we go. Now, make sure if you get sidetracked that you are putting the adhesive on the right side. Otherwise, you might have a little bit of a challenge later. All right, let's slide this one in. This is gonna be our next one. And now we've got our 3 card bases for the fractured cards. So now we're gonna go back and grab one of each of our bears again. And we'll put those 2 here. Let's look at our sentiments. All right, so I wanna do these a little bit different so that you can see some different angles. I think I'm gonna put this at the bottom. So we'll do this like this with maybe like a hello sentiment right there. And then this one we're gonna do over here and we'll do, let's do happy birthday with that one. This one I kind of want to put in the middle, so we'll put the sentiment down here. So let's start with happy birthday. I do not need to do any trimming of that. Let me get this little piece off of me here. Maybe, there we go. Of course, I say I don't have to do any trimming, but it's got a little corner that needs to be trimmed up, probably from where I cut it. All right, let me see where we are gonna put this. I think I'm gonna put it right in here like this. And then we'll put, oh, I don't know if I like it right there. I think it should have been a little bit higher. Let me see if I can move this real quick. Yeah. we can move it. All right, let me put the bear down because it is not going to probably cover that up. Just a little bit of it maybe. All right, let's put it right here. There we go. That's better. And if you guys have any puffy dots or anything like that, you can absolutely put them on here as well. There we go. I was trying to figure out how to cover that little end so it didn't have a gap in there. So happy birthday. That's so cute. All right, this one, I think I said we're gonna do hello. And we're just gonna put that one right there. Now I am going to trim a little bit of this side off. So that's a lot of extra white space that I just don't think needs to be there. So let's take that off, and I'm gonna put this right about here, I think. And then, let's see, yeah, perfect. Who has this card kit already? Who has this one? I think a bunch of you probably might, or maybe you've already used it. I don't know. Maybe you're seeing this and going, yep, I definitely need to make those cards because they're so cute. Okay, so this one, let's do, I think I'm gonna do thank you with this one. Let me see, where do we wanna put this one though? Could put it in the center. We could do best wishes underneath. Let's do that. Let's put that one in the center. Now this one feels like it's really big, but it's just because the letters on this are a little bit bigger. So it's gonna look pretty. It's gonna look really pretty. Okay. All right. Oh, it's so cute. Okay, so those are our 3 fracture cards. Again, we're gonna hold them till the end to put the bling and bows on them because I really do like the bow on this one. She just looks so cute with the bow like up by her ear. But I wanna make sure that there's no place else that maybe should have one too. So we're gonna double check and make sure. All right, let's put our seal on this one. So cute. All right, so those are the fracture cards. I'm gonna put those up there too. Now the last one is easy peasy, and I'll be honest, it's been a minute since I did our card club, and so I'm trying to remember what easy peasy was. Like easy peasy was like no cutting, is that correct? I can't remember, but I feel like I want to rip some. So I think we're just going to do some ripping and a little bit of layering today with these. So you don't need a cutter because you can just rip it. We're going to start with this piece. And what I'm going to do is make it so that there's a little bit showing out at the bottom, and then I'm also going to leave some white space at the bottom, and that's where we're going to put our sentiment for this one. And we're going to do it horizontal. So I'm just going to go ahead and rip it like this. And then when I layer it, it's going to be layered. We can do it 2 ways. We can do it where the white is showing, or we can do it without the white showing. I think we'll do it without the white showing. So we're gonna put this one right about here. Now, if you're like me and you're like, oh, I forgot where I was supposed to put that, do a little pencil mark where you wanna line it up. It won't be seen because you're gonna cover it up, so you don't have to worry about that. Let me make sure the card's going in the right way. Now, I usually leave the white part showing from the rip because I like that rustic look, but for some reason today I'm drawn to do it this way, and I think it's because I like the non-rustic look for the teddy bear. I don't know. Kind of strange because normally I would absolutely use that. but I just don't feel like I want to do that today, so that's okay. All right, let me do this other side real quick. Put a little piece there in the middle. And then this one I'm just going to take up here and I'm going to hold it with the side that's already down. And then just make sure I've got it where I want it to be lined up with the border, and then go ahead and put the whole thing in place. So I've left some white space here because we're going to go ahead and put one of our sentiments here. I think I'm going to do thank you. And I'm going to put it over here in the corner. So I'm not going to put it right in the middle. I'm going to put it over here in the corner just to give it like a little bit of a different look. And then let's do, we're going to do this little guy. Now I could line it up like this. That would be totally cool. But I'm going to go ahead and put our little bear in the center. Like this. He's really just sitting like right on the ripped paper, which is super cute. I'm gonna move him down just a little bit. Just a little bit. There we go. And there's our first easy peasy card. Let me grab the other two papers real quick. And this one I will do portrait style, but we're gonna do the same exact technique, except this time I'm gonna do the brown as the smaller piece. And this one, I might, nope, I'm not, because I didn't do it that way. I was like, I might use the rustic part, but I'm not. And so this one is just going to be layered just like this. And we're going to do congratulations at the bottom on this one. So we're going to put this right about there. So I'm just going to make, again, just make a little line so you know exactly where you want to put it. And then I'm just gonna kind of eyeball where it is, because it doesn't have to be perfect against that line. It's just kind of a space for you to have a guide, right? Today feels like the perfect day to snuggle up with a teddy bear too. So if anybody has this card kit already, I'm just saying today's a perfect day maybe to make some teddy bear cards. If you have it, grab it, have some fun with it. All right, I didn't get enough adhesive on this little corner, so I'm just gonna peel that back up a little bit and put that back down. All right, and then we said congratulations was gonna go on this one. And that one I'm gonna put in the center. And I think I never like to put miss you on them, only because what if I don't use that one, right? So I think we're gonna put this one over here. And we're just gonna line him up in the center here. Like that. Okay, so this one I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna do it horizontal, and I am going to still do the two rips, but I'm not gonna leave space at the bottom for a sentiment on this one, okay? So I'm just gonna come along and do a little ripping. And because we're not doing a sentiment on this one, I think I am going to use that white rustic part that I like, kind of. And I don't even need that because I'm gonna put that down towards the bottom. I am very, very grateful that we are not getting the cold that a lot of you are experiencing right now. I am very grateful for that. My dog, one of them, Cody, loves the warm. He is not a big cold person at all. My girl dog, Miss Katie, I swear she must have been a snow bunny in another life, because she will go outside and just romp in the snow and lay in the snow and stay in the snow. She does not care. All right, and I think we're gonna put him off to the side just so it looks a little different. And then that way, if I do want to add a sentiment, I can add one later, because I can just pick that little bit of a corner up right there and add one on there if I want to. I probably won't, so we'll just decorate it with some bling, but I definitely could have that as an option. All right, let's go ahead and put our seals on the inside, because you know that's just where I like them. You can also save them and put them on the envelope, but I have teddy bear washi tape that I'm going to be using on the envelopes for these. So, but you could save them and put them on the envelope. I know a lot of people do. That's what they're intended for. So that is an option. Okay, so let's grab all 3 sets of cards. And we're going to start with our featured card. So this is the Card Club card. So we made 3 of them. Let me pile these out of the way over here so it doesn't get confusing. So we made 3 of them. So now we've got, let me put these blue bows out of the way because we're not going to be using those today. Okay, so let's talk about the bows real quick. And you could, I could use a little blue bow, but I really like the bow on her, except I have to cut it because it's just a little bit too big. So what I've been doing with this one is just taking my scissors and cutting those long tails off. And just wait till you see how cute it is. Now, if you don't have super sharp scissors, because these have adhesive and everything else on them, it may fray it a little bit. I'm not too concerned about that. But look how much cuter that is without the long tails. Oh my gosh, so cute. So I'm just gonna put a little bit of adhesive on here and then stick our little bow on there for her. Okay. Look how pretty she is with her little bow. So I'm going to leave her alone with that. Then let's take some bling, and I am going to do it similar to this card. I'm just going to put them in random places, except that I do think I want one on all 3 blocks this time. So let's just randomly get those on there. There we go. Oh, that's so cute. And I'm going to put this one down here. I'm going to put this one right there. Okay. And our 3 dots on that one. Okay, so that's our Card Club card. Let's grab our fractured cards. I'm going to grab the girl that needs the bow first because I just love her with the bows. She's so cute. Yes, that looks good. Oh, I'm so excited. All right, let's do a quick little toss of what our cards looked like. So first we have, let me get all this nonsense out of the way. Let me get all that out of the way. Put my little pencil back up here. Okay, so first we have, these are the ones that I had already made. Let me get that out of the way. So I'll show you these again. These are the ones that I had made as my samples for myself when I was playing with them. So those are the 3 that kind of inspired our Card Club card today. They turned out super cute. And then these are the cards that we made. And we're just going to do a quick little toss of them. So these were really, really easy. You take your paper and you do 2 cuts, 2 inches each time. Then we have our fractured card where we just made 2 cuts in random places. And then our easy peasy cards that we just did some ripping and no cutting. Perfect. They're so cute. All right. Last thing is to grab the teddy bear washi tape. So let me find that. And we're going to put washi tape right along the envelope. Last one, and then we are all done for today. All right, so don't forget, I will get that PDF made for everybody and I will get it loaded into the files in the groups. If you're watching on YouTube, just send me a message or comment if you'd like the PDF and I will make sure that you get that. But thank you guys so much for joining me for Card Club today. So I'm just gonna layer these out really quickly. And there we go, friends. So thank you so much. Happy Friday.